I've watched Elliot Brooks do this a few times, and I thought, I love these videos. You guys, she takes some of her favorite books and reads a few of the 1-star reviews on Goodreads. So, link to Elliot's channel down below. She is all sorts of adorable, and she's a writer. I just love following her writing process videos. Then I just love her fangirlish enthusiasm about high fantasies in particular. So, check her out. And hey, welcome back to All Things Equilateral. I'm doing something different. I'm so excited. So when I started thinking about what book do I want to know? I mean, honestly, have you ever gone and read the 1-star reviews of your favorite books? They're hysterical. I don't even know if I should credit the people I'm reading, but they're on Goodreads and, you know, readily available to everybody. So I'm going to read through some of the popular ones because my least popular ones are the ones that are gift-filled. Because, you know, give me the words. Don't throw me the gifts. Anyway, this is the most popular 1-star review, and it's gotten 132 thumbs up and 89 comments. Pretty funny. Okay. Clockwork Prince is my favorite Cassandra Clare book. Seriously. I mean, from Jem on the cover, I'm just gonna throw the cover up here because look at Jem, you guys. He's so cute, Team Jem forever. To the story itself, because usually books 2 are kind of a bridge between book 1 and book 3, and sometimes they kind of drag the plot along, but not this one, people, not this one. Cassie, this series is so good. So here's the review. I love the labels already. DNF, garbage, romance, meh. Can the MC die please? That's one label. Boring, I don't get the hype. So her review, all it says is, so I've thought about it and I'm probably never picking this back up, so it's a permanent DNF. There are such things as permanent DNFs, I guess. Cassandra Clare's books just aren't for me, and then the poop emoji. That was the most popular review. There you have it. Okay, here's the second most popular. This one has 82 thumbs up and 365 comments. Before I pen the actual review, I want to express my feeling towards Cassandra Clare's Clockwork Prince. It can be summarized with the 2 photos below, and of course the links have expired, so I have no idea. I'm seriously not amused. In fact, for most of the time I had difficulty suppressing my disbelief. Edited on January 14th, 2014. I guess the first one was, I don't know when, because the date shows 2016 now. Yay, Goodreads. Has anyone taken a good look at the cover of Clockwork Prince? Supposedly it's Jem on the cover, though the model looks nothing like Jem, for crying out loud. But then one day I noticed on this cover, Jem is holding a dragon-headed cane, which she does in the book. And I don't know about you, but to me, the model cover looks just like Jem. Now we have a problem. It's time for Chinese History 101. I love history, so I'm here for it. In the imperial China, only the emperor and the members of the royal family could wear clothes with dragons on them or possess personal items with dragon ornaments on them. If a commoner was found possessing dragon ornaments, the punishment for such offense was death. She doesn't cite the quote, so I'm gonna guess it's Wikipedia. We all know how accurate that is. But this sounds like a, plausible quote, actually, or a plausible fact. So tell me, how come a cane with a dragon head on it can come into Jem's possession? I'd like to think of him as royalty. Here's the link to something I wrote concerning the topic of Cassandra Clare and plagiarism. Oh, okay. So this touches upon this plagiarism story that came out of Cassie writing fan fiction before she was a published author, where she quoted a poem, I think, without giving a citation. She has apologized profusely. She did quote it in the fan fiction. This work was never published, and I think we're well past that, but apparently not. So number 1, here's her review now that she's gotten all that vitriol out of the way. The horrible love triangle. Don't get me wrong, I like reading about people falling in love. I can even tolerate love triangles when they're well written, in italics. But I hate whatever romance Cassandra Clare has to offer with a passion. At first, I couldn't quite pinpoint why her romances make my stomach turn so much. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Maybe it was the incestuous, potentially, relationship in City of Bones? I don't know. But after reading so many woody, uninspiring, romantic Will Tessa and Jem Tessa scenes throughout CP, I began to realize why Claire's love triangle pisses me off so much. I don't know what woody is, but I'm gonna go there. It's because I can't sense any passion in Claire's writing. It's like she was merely writing a very formalized version of what people should do, think, feel when they're in love. There's no heart, no passion, no real feeling beyond her romances. Whenever I read a good heartfelt romance, I would cheer the couple on and feel happy when they finally get together. But I never do that with any of Claire's couples. For real. I was cheering Jason Clary on when it was potentially wrong, but you know, okay. Plus, we're supposed to believe Jem and Will were all head over heels for Tessa, but what's so adorable about her? I don't get it. If Tessa was kind and brave, but isn't she? Then isn't Sophie just the same? Yes, my darling Sophie is, but she's not Tessa. So why would Will and Jem never notice her as a love interest? Why? Because sometimes we don't fall for people that, you know, we see every day. I don't know. There has to be some chemistry, right? Well, the romance might actually have worked out well if only Tessa is a likable character, but sadly, she never is. For her creator, Claire, has always mistaken bitchiness, stupidity, and selfishness with bravery and independence when it comes to her female characters. 2, Claire's failed attempt to make Will sympathetic. All right, this ought to be good because y'all know I'm not Team Will, I'm Team Jem. I mean, I love Will, please, yeah. Will, he was a major jackass in Clockwork Angel, but starting from chapter 1 of Clockwork Prince, Claire intended to let us see the different side of Will by throwing off hints that he had feelings for Tessa. There's a reason for him to be so much of an asshole to everybody, blah, blah, blah. But does Claire attempt to make Will sympathetic work? My answer to that is a big fat no. Okay. You know, I love my Herondale. So he is kind of a butt in Clockwork Angel, and he's snarky. But part of what Cassie was trying to do was to show that Herondale men, once they fall in love with someone, they fall head over heels and they literally see no one else. They're so in love with that person. And it is love at first sight. Yeah, and it is slightly ridiculous, but it does happen in this world. It really does. So, you know, and it's a romance, you guys. It's fiction. Okay. And then she goes on to describe Will's curse and how ridiculous it was. And there were so many holes in the story. And this, I mean, it just goes on. And the characters are flat. I just got to my favorite part. She actually itemizes each character and tells you why they're horrible or horribly written. Jem, he's still the nice guy and there's nothing more about him. But how could a half Chinese, half British with bright silver hair, mixed person go unnoticed in Victorian London? Also, he suffers no race discrimination and makes no sense. Are we forgetting it's fiction? Okay, I guess. I mean, and it's fantasy, right? I don't know. Charlotte and Henry, they barely show any maturity. And shadow hunters are idiotic. This is so awesome. And where's the villain? I guess they didn't like Mortmain. And the boredom, the Victorian background is not Victorian enough. And yeah, so that was the second most popular 1-star review. The third most popular one, and I'll stop there because, I don't know, this is all too much. This one has 62 thumbs up and 13 comments. And I'm not reading the readers' comments because, you know, I'm sure they agree. According to this reviewer, Clockwork Prince does not feel Victorian in the least. They feel like the smirking hip teenage demon hunters of Claire's The Mortal Instruments. There's just far too much sarcasm used. And then they mention a writer known for his sarcasm. Oscar Wilde was indeed known for his dry wit. Hello. But it wasn't really common for Victorians to be outwardly sarcastic with each other. I'd like to think that we haven't changed a lot as humans. And while I'd like to think from what I've read in history, not so much in historical romances, that there was a formality associated with formal occasions when you were just hanging around with your family and, you know, your household. I would like to think there was a lot of sarcasm used, you know, because we're humans. This is a quote that she picks. I'm pretty damn sure the Victorian gentlemen wouldn't roll their eyes at the cook and go, "Oh God, you're Irish. Can you make anything without potatoes?" I'm pretty sure they would. I'm really sure they would, because a cook was a servant. And so the politeness that you would have with somebody that you're paying to prepare your food will kind of be gone. There would be a casualness there. So anyway, she also said the book was boring. She started falling asleep while skim reading. And then she has a bizarre conclusion, because she talks about Lady Midnight coming out next before Clockwork Princess is released. And she said, oh joy, if Claire likes playing literary literary flavor of the month with her books, then let's just say The Mortal Instruments was probably the well-worn, dark and musty, yet spine-tingling flavor of the supernatural. Her Infernal Devices series has the rich, heady, and acrid, smoggy flavor of Victorian steampunk. And the pinch of spice that I bet will flavor this futuristic retelling, she's talking about Lady Midnight, of Clary Jace and Alec Tessa, Jem and will be the bland, government-sanctioned taste of dystopia fresh off the trend from the Hunger Games. Blurt, and she gives it 1.5 stars. So the good news is for this reviewer, as we all know who've read Lady Midnight, it is not a dystopian. Yay! It takes place in the same Shadowhunter world. Oh, you guys, maybe I should never read these 1-star reviews again. What do you think? Have you looked at any of the 1-star reviews for your very favorite books? I think I'm going to start doing this from now on. What book should I do next? Let me know down below. Give me a thumbs up. Many thanks to Elliot Brooks. You guys check out her adorable self on her channel. And you know, hey, subscribe to mine because I'm trying hard to put out some new content here and there. Thanks so much for watching and cut.